Hey guys, it's Hogan here. Now in this video, I'm going to be giving you a brief review of Cloudways as well as a tutorial to show you how to set up a new WordPress installation and also migrate a website as well as setting up your email. Now this video probably isn't for you if you're creating your first website. In that case, I'll probably recommend SiteGround to get started. This video is mainly for people who have shared hosting and you sort of want to upgrade to something that's a lot faster, more reliable, and performs better. Now, what is Cloudways and what is cloud hosting, right? So Cloudways is essentially just a web host that specializes in cloud hosting. So cloud hosting is basically, for example, if you've got shared hosting here, which is sort of like one server that hosts, multiple websites, maybe hundreds or thousands of websites with one server. Cloud hosting is sort of like a cluster, like several different servers that basically store your website files. So it's divided among the servers and that stores your website files. So that basically means that your files will be more sort of reliable in terms of if one sort of server goes down, then the other one will be up as well. And you can also scale your website a lot better. So for example, if you got more traffic, you can easily sort of increase the resources for your website as well. Okay. So basically my personal experience with Cloudways is that I recently just moved one of my websites from an Australian website serving local customers in Australia to Cloudways. So I was with HostGator. I've been with HostGator for a while now, for about almost like 10 years now, I think 9 years. So a few years ago, I signed up with my local website with HostGator as well, because I didn't really think about, okay, where should I host my website? And only after a little while I realized, okay, HostGator only has their servers in the United States, and that basically means that, the distance for the data to travel to Australia is going to be quite far, right? So it's going to be quite slow in terms of loading, even if I've optimized my website as good as I can, like the images, the caching, and everything like that. I've also set up my CDN as well, so the Content Delivery Network, and the total cost of that was around, I think, $16.95 for hosting, and then another $16 for the CDN. So it was like costing like $32 per month, right? So it's quite expensive. So I realized that, my website only could load like 3 seconds. So I went to research cloud hosting, right? I came across Cloudways and I just started a free trial and I tested the servers out, and it was like super, super quick. So I just wanted to show you guys briefly how to use it as well. Maybe if you want to migrate to Cloudways, they have a completely free trial, so there's no reason why you shouldn't try it out, right? So a lot of companies do offer sort of cloud hosting these days, but Cloudways really does it well because you have different providers that you can choose from, right? You've got Google Cloud, you've got AWS, you've got Linode, you've got Vultr, as well as DigitalOcean. So you've got 5 different providers that you can choose from. And within those 5 different providers, I think there's over like 50 or 60 different sort of data centers that you can choose from, right? So no matter where you are in the world, it's going to load super quick for your audience, right? So another great thing is that obviously they have the free trial, and obviously they've got all the things that you need in terms of like the hosting, like the services such as the backup, the support. A lot of people said the support wasn't as good. In my opinion, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. Like, it's friendly enough. Probably not as good as, let's say, SiteGround, but I'd rate it like a solid 8.7. So that's good enough for me. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys how to set it up, show you guys what's inside. And with Cloudways, you can't sort of have the email hosting hosted there. So you do have to set that up. And that was like one of the main things that I was scared about. You set it up with Rackspace, but it's quite easy. So I'll show you in this tutorial so you can get a good understanding of it and just try it out, right? So you can either go to cloudways.com or you can click the link down below, and I'm going to jump inside the computer and show you guys how to set it up. Okay, so it's super easy to get started, and I think you guys are really going to love it. So let's just click on Start Free Trial over here. All right, so here is where you just need to fill in your information. So first name, last name, and I'm going to put in email, set in a password, and I'm going to select freelance developer and 0 to 50. So you can click on promo code. I think you can use Hogan for a discount, I'm pretty sure. So you can use that. If it's different, then I'll leave it in the description below. Let's click on agree and click on start free. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to do is go to your email and activate the account. Then we're going to click on get started. Okay. So over here, you can choose your application. So basically like your program, for example, WordPress, PHP, Magento, Drupal, and things like that. So in this case, I'm going to install WordPress. So I'm going to select that one. And this one is, I'm going to name it, let's just say e-commerce demo. And this one, my server is just going to be maybe HC server. Okay, so this is just for sort of your reference. It doesn't really matter what you put in here. Okay, name of your project. This one is going to be like a tutorial. All right, so over here, what's really good about Cloudways is that you get to choose which infrastructure you basically host your website at, right? Because I know some people don't like Google, for privacy concerns and things like that. So you can use like AWS or Amazon, Vultr, Linode, or DigitalOcean. So normally these three here are going to be cheaper. Now the downside to being cheaper is that you can't really scale down your website. So let's say if you have an e-commerce website and it's like Christmas time and you're doing a promotion and you get a lot of traffic, you can increase your server size and you can basically increase your resources so you can handle that traffic. But let's say we're in February now and the sales have died down, then if you want to sort of reduce your resources, right, what you need to do is you need to clone the server and then you need to set up a new server and then get all that set up, like the DNS settings and things like that. So that can be a little bit complicated. Not really complicated, I mean it's going to cost you some time, right? But with AWS you can scale down or up, okay? And same with Google Cloud. So let's just say, for example, we're going to drop it down to 1 gigabyte. So that's normally enough for a few websites. So this is really good because you can install unlimited websites. Generally for 1 gigabyte, you could probably do like, 10 decent small size websites, business websites. Then if you need more, then you can upgrade more. So it's only $10 a month, which is really, really cheap. And you can also choose the location, right? So if you're in India, you could choose here, you get Canada. If you're in Europe, this one, probably I'm not going to choose DigitalOcean because let's say I'm in Australia, I might go with Linode, right? Drop it down over here. Okay, choose the data center. Here, I'm just going to choose Sydney, right? So that's closest to my target audience and that's going to load super quick. All right, so after that, pretty much all you need to do is click on launch now. Now, if you do want to launch the AWS and the Google Cloud, you need to upgrade, okay, before you can actually do that, right? So what we're going to do is go back over here and we're going to drop it down again and let's go back to Sydney and we're going to launch now. Okay, so that's going to take a few minutes to actually launch that server and then I'll show you how to set it up and things like that. Okay, let's close that over here. So if you do need a helping hand, you can click over here. So this chatbot thing is really, really helpful. Let's say if you want to set up email, you can click on email and it's going to load the results and you can read the documentation and they'll basically go through how to set that up. But obviously I'll show you guys in this tutorial. I'll show you step by step how to do it so that when you guys need to do it, then it's really, really easy. Okay, so after 10 minutes now the server is up. All right, and you can navigate between the server and the application. So the server is just sort of like the computer. Application is the program, which is we have installed WordPress on it, right? So what you need to do is just click on the applications tab, all right, and just click over here. So to log into your new WordPress installation, you can click on the tab here, and that's going to open up your WordPress installation, right? So you can build your WordPress website for 3 days and you can really test it out, test out the performance, see if you like it or not. And I'll show you how to migrate it so you can actually migrate your old website and see how it goes. And then if you like it, then take it live, which I'll show you as well. So I'm just going to log into the dashboard area. So it just works like any sort of WordPress dashboard. So we're just going to log in, paste my email in here, like that, and then copy my password, log in. So this is the WordPress dashboard. I'm just going to update a few things, including the WordPress, and also as you can see, it says the PHP is old, it needs to be upgraded. I'll show you how to do that quickly as well, because it's important to know where that setting is. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to our server. All right, so we can click into the server. And what we need to do is we need to go to and click on the settings. Okay, so over here you can increase the upload size as well. So sometimes 10 megabytes might not be enough for you. Then you can increase that to like, let's say, 50. And you can also increase the memory limit. So I normally just put it like 256. and save changes. So that might improve the performance of your website as well. And to change the PHP, we'll wait for that to load. Okay, so click on advanced. Where is it? So packages. Okay, so over here, so PHP, it's 7.1. So we're going to click over here. Okay, I'm going to change it to 7.4. So generally, it should be okay, but you might need to test your themes and plugins and things like that, which is why when you migrate it, you can test it on the sort of test server before you take it live. All right, so you can decrease it later as well. So just click on OK. So that did take a few minutes. Now you can also upgrade the MySQL as well as installing the Redis cache to increase the performance as well. But I'm not going to go through that right now. Let's go back here and maybe give that website a refresh. Okay, so over here, I'm going to just install my theme. All right, I'm going to click on Add New, Upload Theme, choose File, and you can test your theme as well. I'll also include the download link for this theme if you do want to use it, because I do use it for my tutorials. So I'm going to install now. Now, as you can see, the upload speed is super quick. Now the reaction time is so fast. I really like it. Yeah, especially because like they have the data center in Australia as well. Click on activate, and I'm just going to import maybe a demo just to test it out. Okay, so we're just going to import that in here and proceed to import. All right, that is done. Let's go and visit our website. Okay, so as you can see, the title, it's super long. I'm just going to customize it. Okay, so you can test out the functions of website, how fast it reacts and things like that. I just think it's a lot better than a lot of the shared hosting plans, and the pricing is not that much difference, to be honest. Close it, turn on the builder, and when you do things, it's just so quick. Okay, so when you click on save, it's like instant. Close it, it's like instant. It's like building your website on a local sort of installation. Okay, so now what I want to show you is how to sort of migrate a website. So when you want to do it, then you have an idea of how to do it. It's not that hard. Okay, so this is the e-commerce website that we're going to migrate. So it's just a test demo website that I'll show you how to migrate. So let's go back to our dashboard. All right, so all we need to do is we need to download and install a plugin. So let's go hover over here, plugins, click on add new. And we want to download the Cloudways plugin. Okay, so over here, just type in Cloudways and you should find it. Okay, so WordPress Migrator, click on install now and then click on activate. Okay, so we need to click over here on the left, Cloudways Migrate. All right, so you can also request, I think, a free migration from Cloudways as well if you don't want to do it yourself. Here we just need to fill in the information that we have over here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on master credentials. All right, so this is the IP number. We're going to click on copy. Let's go back over here. Okay, just put it into here, the IP address. Then the next thing that we want to do is we want to copy over the username. And the password as well. Okay, then we're going to put in the email. Okay, so this is just your email and that you've signed up with. Okay, so destination URL. So what we're going to do is grab the URL over here. Okay, copy that, paste that in, and the database name. So what we need to do is go back to our applications. Okay, click into that, and where is our database name? Over here. Okay, and let's paste that into here, and then all we need to do is I agree. All right, so check the details. Right, so I'm going to go and check the details. Is that all correct? Yep, that should be good to go. Then all we need to do is go back over here and click on migrate. So just wait for that to validate. Now, once that is validated, it's going to transfer the data from this website over here to your test website on Cloudways, right? So basically you just need to go to the existing website, download the plugin, put in the information, connect it all together, and it's going to transfer the data over. Okay, and then you can just basically test out your website and see if it's all functioning. Then you just need to change the DNS settings. So I'm gonna let it transfer over. I'm gonna take a quick break and then come back. Okay, so the migration is complete. That took around 15 minutes. The website wasn't that large. If you have like a larger website, it might take a few hours, but it's okay because your website is still live on the internet. So there's no downtime when you are sort of transferring the data to your new website over here. Okay, so we can click on visit migrated website. And as you can see, it is all good, right? If everything is all good, then let's try and log in. Okay, so this is going to retain the login details from your old WordPress installation, right? So it's not going to be the same as the one that you set in here. Okay, so we need to log in like that and should be good to go, hopefully. Okay, so we can close that. Now with the Jetpack, you might need to reconnect it, but generally all the settings should be good to go. So you can check your website and click on refresh here. You can turn on the builder, see if everything's working properly first, which I think it is. Okay, so now if you've checked everything, it's working properly, then we can take our website live. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our website live, and to do that, all we need to do is go to our domain registrar. All right, so in this case, I have used GoDaddy for my domain, and we need to navigate to the DNS settings. So if you have registered a Namecheap or any other one, it should be still the same process, right? You just need to go to the DNS settings and change the name servers. Okay, so right now the name server is with HostGator, so we can click on change. And what we need to do is we need to change it back to the default. Okay, so I'll use GoDaddy name servers, click on save. Okay, so right now we can't see where we can actually change the settings. What we need to do is we might need to go back to our domains and select it again. Then I'll show you basically how to do it. So let's just go back to our domains. And where is it? It's over here. Okay, we're going to click on manage DNS again. Okay, so now you'll be able to see where we can change it. So what we need to change is the A record over here. All right. So what you need to do is click on edit. Okay. So with the host, normally what you need to do is if you don't have www in front, then you just put @ right? If you want a www in front like that, then you need to put that in there, right? So for my website, I generally just have the @ symbol, and this is going to point to the IP address. So we can navigate over to our Cloudways accounts, right? And copy over the IP. So essentially we're just pointing the domain name to the IP address. Okay, so just paste that into here. Okay, so generally this is, I think, time to live. So I generally put this as custom, and you want to set it to 600 or as low as possible. Okay, so once that is done, just click on save, and that's basically going to connect, right? It might take a few minutes. Sometimes it's instant to propagate your website. So basically what you need to do is you need to go over here and go and click on DNS checker. We can go to our website. So let's just give it a refresh. Actually, we need to go back over here, and we need to go and add in our domain. So click on domain management. All right, so our domain was, I'm just going to copy it from here and just paste that into here. Okay, click on save changes. Okay, so that should be done, and let's click on refresh to see if that works. Okay, so as you can see, that is pretty much good to go, right? So we can click over here and we can see if that is connected up. So just paste in the URL here, click on search. All right, so for your website to be fully live, it may take maybe 10-15 minutes. As you can see, the sort of the IP address is changing now. It's propagating to all the locations around the world. Some of them is still the old one, but as you can see, some of it is the new one. So that's going to take a little bit of time, and you might get an unsecure website. And then in that case, you'll need to go back over here, click on SSL certificate. Now, when that has all been propagated, then you'll need to install the Let's Encrypt, which is free for all your domains that you add into here. Okay, so just install the certificate and then it'll be secure. So what I do want to show you now is how to set up the email, because this is one of the things that sort of held me back when I wanted to switch over to Cloudways for my website. I was a little bit scared about, connecting. It was a bit hard and things like that. So to do that, what we can do is we can go and click on Need a Hand over here, and you can test it by clicking on email over here, and we can also click on basically how to set up the email on Rackspace. So we're going to open that one up, okay, and then what we're going to do, all right, so we can go over here on the top, okay, click on add-ons, and we need to just turn on the Rackspace. It's about $1 a month, okay, so click into that. All right, so we might need to upgrade the account, so I might go quickly upgrade my account. Okay, so I just upgraded my account, and I'm going to come back over here and click into here. All right, so for the email address, my new mailbox is going to be my domain name. So I'm just going to copy that over and paste that in. And this one is going to be, let's say, like sales@webdemo123.site. And then I'm going to set in a password like that. And then we're going to click on Save Changes. All right, so our new mailbox has been created. Okay, so now that's done, we need to connect the Rackspace email with our domain name. All right, so we need to update the settings on GoDaddy. Right, so here we can click on email. Okay, so how to set up my Rackspace email on email clients. That's going to be opened up. Okay, let's just close that, and we need to connect it with GoDaddy. All right, so this is with Gmail. What we need to do is connect the DNS settings first. So let's click on open that. All right, so scroll down, and we need to go over here, configure your DNS records. So I'll just leave the URL in the description below as well. So we need to scroll down over here. All right, so what we need to do is just copy this information onto our GoDaddy account. Okay, so what we need to do is basically just copy this information into our GoDaddy records over here. So the first one that we need to do is the MX. So we can click on add, and then scroll down over here, select the MX. All right, and for the host, I'm just gonna put it as @, and this one's gonna point to this destination over here. Paste that in there. Okay, priority is going to be 10, and then this one is going to be the lowest that we can do it. So let's just do maybe custom. Okay, that one, click on save, and then we're going to do the next one. Okay, click on add, so MX, and then we're just going to put over here. Okay, and then copy this one over here, paste that in there. Priority, this one's going to be 20. Okay, going to set this to custom. Okay, so 3,600 seconds over here, and then click on save. All right, so the next one is the text. Okay, so click on add, select text, host is going to be @, and the text value is just going to be over here. Paste that in over there. All right, and then here we're going to set this one to custom. Okay, click on save. All right, so that is pretty much done. Now what we need to do is change the CNAME. So what we're going to do is the CNAME is already here. So what we're going to do is click on edits for there. For the host, we're going to put in this one over here. Copy, paste it. It's going to point to here. Okay, like that. And then this one is going to set to custom as well, and click on save. All right, so basically the Rackspace has connected with our domain name, and whenever someone sends an email, it will be delivered into your Rackspace account. All right, so now what we need to do is do the sort of email forwarding from the email to our Gmail account, because normally I personally manage it from my Gmail account. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'll show you how to forward your email. So what we need to do is go back over here, all right, and click back onto here, the Rackspace, and just forwarding email, and select email, this one over here. So this is going to forward to my Gmail accounts, and we're just going to do e-commerce demo91@gmail.com. All right, so I'm not going to save the copies, and then click on save changes. Okay, so whenever the mail arrives into this email over here, it's going to forward it to my Gmail account. Now, if you want to send email as from your Gmail account, then we need to set this up in here. Okay, so click on settings and click on see all settings. And then we need to go to the accounts and import. All right, so send mail as, okay, and click on add another email address. All right, so we're going to send email as this one over here. So copy it, all right, and just paste it into here. Click on next step. So for the SMTP server, what we need to do is just grab it from here somewhere. Okay, so scroll down over here. So for this one over here, what we're going to do is the outgoing, I think. Okay, so let's over here. So copy this and let's grab it and paste it into there. Okay, for the username, this one is going to be the sales at webdemo123.site. And the port is going to be, let's go back over here, 465, like that, and the password that you set in before, like that, and it should be the SSL connection if you have installed the Let's Encrypt SSL. So click on add accounts, and basically that's going to send the email verification to your emails. So let's go back over here. And basically we set up the forwarding, so hopefully that should be sent here. Okay, so click into that, and then we can click over here and confirm that, and now we can send email as from our domain email, right, from our Gmail account. Okay, so what we can do is refresh the page, and we can do a click on compose, and then here we can select the drop down if we want to send it from a domain email. So this one is to, let's say, my other email address, something like that. And then we just do like, hello, I've finally set up my domain and email. Yes. Okay, click on send, and then that should be sent to my email, and hopefully that is all connected up and good for you guys. So that is pretty much it. Just showing guys the basic process of getting started with Cloudways, migrating your website, connecting your website, and also setting up the emails. Honestly, it's not that hard to get started, and I personally think it's a really, really great option, especially if you are like a digital agency. You have multiple websites and you sort of want to upgrade. You want to move from your bus to your own car, right? It's just going to load a lot quicker. You also have different, data centers that you can select from, like a lot of data centers, and that's going to load super quick for your local audience. So if you have any questions, drop it down below. This video is a little bit longer than I expected, but hopefully you guys found some value in it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you.